Welcome to the Daily Brown Bag. Today we're going to be talking about Gallup's recent survey that shows that social media does not influence the purchase decision. I'm Chad Hill, joined by Adam Stetzer.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chad. Welcome to the Brown Bag. We have some pretty interesting news here coming from Gallup based on a recent survey that they did called The State of the American Consumer, and it's grabbing some attention in the headlines today, Chad, because essentially Gallup is saying, based on this recent study that they did, that social media does not influence consumer purchasing behaviors, which of course is a fairly startling finding and one that a lot of people are taking issue with, most notably Facebook. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, companies in the U.S. spent over $5 billion on social media advertising last year. So the idea that advertising and social media as a whole marketing channel is not effective in influencing consumer purchasing decisions is certainly something that's turning some heads. So what specifically did Gallup found? Well, they found in their State of the American Consumer report, as I said, that 62% of U.S. consumers are saying that social media does not influence their decision when they go out to make a purchase. And they're releasing this study under the headline of The Myth of Social Media. Specifically, here's some of the breakdowns to the responses to this question. The question was, how much do social media typically influence your purchasing decision? 5% said a great deal of influence, 30% said some, but 62%, a whopping majority, said no influence at all, Chad, and 3% said they don't know. So Gallup is out there waving this result around, causing quite a bit of controversy, and it's got a few noses out of joint, most notably Facebook. And what is their reaction to this, Chad?
Well, the loudest and most vocal person who came out against this was Facebook, who really had the lion's share of social ad spend. And in fact, last year, the company spent $5.1 billion in Facebook ads. And so a Facebook spokesperson came out and said that really the core of this Gallup study was self-reporting why people made and what influenced their purchase decisions. And they simply stated that any person who's involved in survey research would say that self-reported behavioral data is inherently unreliable. And then there was a Forbes article that backed that up. Roger Dooley, who wrote an author, stated that the problem with this particular data is that asking people to self-report why they bought something is doomed to fail, and that most decisions are made for emotional reasons or by using mental shortcuts that bypass logic and analysis. So really, when you think about this, and Gallup is the king of survey research out there, one of the most well-known brands, they're really kind of saying that when you ask people why they buy something, getting into that emotional decision and being able to attribute it to social media ads is pretty difficult.
All right, so a good strike back from Facebook, and I have to say that argument is kind of compelling. Self-report data, particularly around emotional decisions, as you say, is notoriously unreliable. Gallup probably knows that, but they still got an interesting finding, so they're out waving it around to stir up the headlines, with Facebook seeing that it could really hurt their bottom line and fighting back. Well, I think this is interesting, Chad, and we always continue to follow the social media movement and how people try to show return on investment. This is probably another piece in that argument. I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming. We'd be very interested in what your thoughts are on how effective social media advertising is. We have this debate internally at HubShout all the time, as well as with our resellers. Drop us a comment, and better yet, subscribe to our video series so we can see you back here for another Brown Bag really soon.